Welcome back. Welcome back. So, let's get into our main course. I posted, ladies, what is so bad about a guy only wanting sex? Now, this is one of those questions, once again, my mind wandered and I flashed back to much of my life and much of my escapades and adventures in dealing with in courting women. And I never thought it was fair that for a woman to demonize me for acting out my nature, the way God designed me to pursue intercourse for the furthering of our species. You know what I mean? Like, as a male, as a biological male in the human hominid species, whatever the case may be, it's our job to hunt and pursue a mate, a suitor, for breeding, right? And that's on a biological level. So like on a social level, niggas won't fuck, what I'm saying? And it's always been in our Western Anglo-Christian culture, it's always been trendy and fashionable to demonize, or I guess demonize is a strong word, but vilify. Am I using that word right? I don't know. I'll get my dictionary later. But to criminalize a man for wanting to have sex with a woman, for only wanting sex with a woman. Now, let's take this concept literally. Okay, so you want a man to want more than just sex, right? The man doesn't know you. All he knows is what he sees. So what more can he want? You know what I mean? Okay, and then so like, now that leads to, okay, let him get to know you, right? But he's attracted to you. He's making sexual compliments. Ooh, you got. Okay, let's be brash about it. Oh, you got some big old titties, girl. Ooh, your lips so sexy and juicy, and ooh, you got a big old booty. I love your booty. And like, okay, so he's being very vain and very surface, and he's very focused on your physical attributes, and he knows nothing of your personality, and really cares nothing for your personality. Now, okay, that may turn you off, that may cheapen you, you know what I'm saying, as a woman, because it seems very dismissive, you know what I mean? But that's his nature. That's how God designed him. You know what I mean? So how do you get past what you feel and refer to what you know? So now, for a man to only be wanting sex and for a woman to be okay with it, it was communicated to me that this must be a mutual agreement. The woman has to only want sex also. However, where are the women who only want sex? What I realize is, it's not that there are women out there who only want sex. There are women out there who only want a sexual situation. It's not that they only want to have sex they only want a man for sex. It's just that man fits a particular situation that they're seeking at the particular point in their lives. So it's very situational. They stress that the problem is with dudes who pretend to want more. So now I was like, okay, I took him at face value, but then I said to myself, wait a minute. A lot of times women misconstrue things based on their emotions. You know what I mean? They say one thing and feel another, or they only see things one way based on how they feel. So did he really pretend, or was that just your perception? You know what I mean? Cause okay, let's make up a scenario. You got a guy that comes over every other night. You know what I'm saying? He gives you good sex, and then he cuddles with you. Now, cuddling is your thing. You love to cuddle, right? And he doesn't mind cuddling. You know what I'm saying? Or he doesn't mind cuddling with you. Now, he comes over, he bangs your brains out, he cuddles with you. When you're done, now in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy, he must be really into me because he knows I like to cuddle. You know what I'm saying? Is he really pretending? Is that pretending? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it pretending, or is it just your perception? In my book called Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, I have a section. I don't know if it's not a chapter, but it's like a sub-chapter called The 4 Levels of a Man's Attraction. And what it basically refers to is the place that a man puts you in his mind when he meets you, when he gets to know you. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, those certain places, there's certain levels in his mind that he puts you in that are hard to get out of. You know what I mean? Or sometimes are not necessarily meant for you to get out of to that particular man. I don't want to spoil too much of it. Go get the book, sign up for the Bard Society. It's there for you. But basically, what I surmise is that, you know, you got to know the game in order to play it. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand how a man's brain works and how you know, I don't want to get too left field with it, but if a man is pretending, why would he feel the need to pretend? Why would he feel the need to pretend? Because let's be honest, no pun intended. What does honesty really get you in this world? What does being honest all the time really get you? You know, how many men, ladies, ask yourself this: how many men would you have slept with if they were honest with you? That's kind of a disparaging question, isn't it? I'm gonna ask it again. How many men would you have slept with if they were just honest with you up from the go? You know what I mean? Like, what would your body count look like? Okay. So a lot of the women said they're fine with a man only wanting sex as long as it's made clear in the beginning. Because that gives a woman a chance to decide. And that's fair. That's very fair. I noticed as I've gotten older and later in my life, you know, just being over the games, you know, I've been more open. You know, I've been a lot less afraid to lose the vagina by just saying, yeah, I only want to fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a lot less afraid because as I've gotten older, I've learned to value my respect more than that woman's pussy. I value respect over vagina. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you ask, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I want to fuck. I don't really care about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you make your decision, but at the end of the day, if we go our separate ways, you gonna respect me. You know what I'm saying? And you better say hi when you see me. Nickel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Women feel cheapened by, I said that earlier. Your pastor lied to you. Our culture, especially in the black community, our culture has subconsciously and subliminally taught us that sex is evil. So when a man only wants sex, it's like double trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because not only is sex evil, but the men who only want sex are evil. That's what our culture subliminally and subconsciously tells us. And yeah, your pastor lied to you. He's lying to you. Because your pastor only wants sex too. Surprise, surprise. So now the original post was there was an original post. It was like from years ago. And then I reposted it as a memory on my Facebook. And so now there was a lot of new commentary, or updated commentary, updated and upgraded as well. So one of the points I took from it was that getting sex out of the way brings clarity for a man. However, it brings confusion to a woman. we've always known the women's side of the story when it comes to sex, how it, they just fall in love with the dick, and then their emotions are all over the place, and then, whatever the case may be, that story has been told, but it's never been told for the man. You know what I mean? Like, we've always known that, the man, like, he's so about this woman and he's so in love with her until he actually gets what he wants, and then he's just on to the next. However, we've never really taken the time to understand why. And it's because that man has finally been given clarity. Think okay, most of you ladies who are listening, you've never known what it's like to be a guy. I understand. But a lot of times, let's just look at Instagram. Okay, as a man, I'm gonna speak for myself. There's pictures on Instagram that I'll like if I'm horny that I won't like if I'm not horny. You see what I'm saying? It's a level of clarity, like, oh, that's nice, but it really does nothing for me. It doesn't really. Now, if I'm not horny and and I can look at a picture and that makes me horny, then yeah, I'm gonna like that picture. But typically, if I'm horny, I'm gonna like pictures I wouldn't normally like. So imagine me going out courting women. You know what I'm saying? If I hadn't had none, I'm gonna approach anything with a heart and lungs and a vagina that takes showers on a regular basis. But once I get the sex out of the way, then I'm like, what's her personality like? I wonder if she got her stuff together. Does she have a sane, sound mind? You know what I'm saying? Did her parents, did she grow up with a daddy at home? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm worried about shit like that then. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I'm trying to get this out the way. So if once a guy may be all about you, yeah, because he's horny, but then once you get it out the way, then you can really see what he's about. You know what I'm saying? You can really see and it gives him a chance to really see what he needs to see in you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, sex brings clarity for a man, but it brings confusion for a woman. That story's never been told until now. You heard it first. So yeah, the women, most women don't necessarily like men who only want sex because the women are too afraid of getting attached. This is another threat for the ladies. One lady quoted, "Sometimes the sex is not all that great. Sometimes the emotions carry you over and have you thinking the sex is good when it's really not. Plus, being another number is not pleasing." Men want to be the number one in the woman's life, and women want to be the only one in a man's life. You know what I mean? And so being another number is not favorable to a woman's ego. This was a guy on my timeline who quoted. He said, "Men can't handle the truth. They want us. The women want us to be honest so that they can have the opportunity to tell us no, and most men can't handle that." One thing I always say is that women can't handle rejection and men can't handle disrespect. But this is a part of this type of rejection, I guess, is synonymous amongst genders. You know what I'm saying? Just, being turned down for adoration and affection is painful to a woman, but being turned down for sex is painful to a man. You know what I mean? So you put that man in a predicament to where he almost has to lie to you if under the condition that he gets what he wants. So are men dishonest, or do the women end up wanting more? This was a philosophical question that I pose, because the women keep saying dishonest. And earlier I talked about what is your perception? Is that man pretending, or you just have a misperception of that man's behavior? Because of course a man's actions are louder than his words. A woman's words are louder than his actions, right? I said that in Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney. Get the book. So just because you wanted more and you felt let down because he only wants sex, now you feel like that man lied to you? Is that what it is? So you're just an angry customer with a receipt. Is that at the end of the day, that's what it was. You had lofty expectations. You had expectations higher than what was sold to you. You know what I'm saying? Could that have been the case? So you may perceive it as him being dishonest when he was really being himself the entire time. Ooh, did I do that? I had an MVP on deck. This young lady, she says, I just automatically assume and not put any expectations unless a serious relationship is talked about. Oh my goodness. Hold on. We gotta give a round of applause for that one. Amen. So this is a chick who gets it. Let me conclude. If as a woman, if you don't ask what that man wants, then your silence is complicit. And what that means is, if you never like, you want a chance to decide, but if you don't ask, you don't receive. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's hard for a man, like, because of our society and our community, it's hard for a man to just say, yo, I just want sex, right? But it takes a man to do it. So if you want that man to be a man, then ask him. You know what I'm saying? Find out what he wants. And there's never a right time, whether it's in the text messages, in the DM, or right when he's about to slide the panties off. You know what I'm saying? Ask him and let that man speak. If he a man, he gonna speak. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So yeah. And whatever he tells you, take him at face value. You know what I'm saying? Take him at face value and remind him. You know what I'm saying? And you train him how to treat you. You train him how to treat you. You know what I mean? Because I could say from my past experiences, when I was up front with a woman, or when I've been in situations where the woman may not have asked, she just knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? Or I've been in situations where a woman can just read my behavior, and then she knew what it was. You know, but at the end of the day, whether you like me or you don't like me, you gonna respect me. And that's all a man wants, you know? So yeah, you ladies, you gotta take some accountability. Was it a misperception? Was he honest with you the entire time, but your feelings got involved and you perceived it a different way, you know? Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And I think a lot of y'all felt me in this topic. And tune in next week. All right.